In the golden age of Hollywood, where dreams were manufactured and stars were born under neon lights, Los Angeles became a city of shadows. 1947. Post-war America was celebrating victory. But in the vacant lots of Norton Avenue, something darker was waiting. January 15th, 1947. A young mother and her child walked past an empty field. They saw something that would haunt them forever. A body, posed, mutilated, drained of blood. This was Elizabeth Short, 22 years old, born in Massachusetts, hunted by dreams of Hollywood stardom. But her story would end in the most gruesome way imaginable. The press would call her the Black Dahlia. But the truth remains unexplained. Nearly 80 years later, her killer still walks free. Elizabeth Short was not born Elizabeth, the Black Dahlia. She was a normal girl from a small town, Massachusetts, 1924. Her father was a shipyard worker, her mother a housewife. She moved to California in 1943, hunting for something bigger, something brighter. Hollywood, musicians, nightclubs, the dream of becoming a star. She was beautiful. Dark hair, pale skin, a smile that could stop traffic. But she was also lonely, lost, and desperate for attention. She worked at restaurants. She waited tables. She danced at clubs. She talked to men who promised her fame. But fame never came. Instead, she became something else. A mystery, a victim, a name that would haunt Los Angeles forever. The last days of Elizabeth Short, January 9th, 1947. She disappeared from her apartment in Los Angeles. 6 days, no phone calls, no letters, no visitors. Her landlord reported her missing. The LAPD opened a case. But something was wrong. Elizabeth had been seeing someone, a man, but no one knew his name. She left her apartment with a purse, with clothes, with the hope of meeting someone. But she never came back. January 15th. 6 days of silence. The investigation was cold. The detectives were confused. Elizabeth Short was gone. But where was she? January 15th, 1947. Norton Avenue, Los Angeles. A vacant lot. Empty grass. Brown dirt. The kind of place where nothing grew. A mother walked past. She saw something on the ground. She stopped. She looked closer. A body, lying face up, posed. Like a porcelain doll, arms stretched out, legs bent at the knees. A woman, young, pale, naked except for her underwear. But the worst part, her body was cut in half, severed at the waist, top half, bottom half, drained of blood, not a drop found. The woman screamed. Her child ran. She called the police. The LAPD arrived within minutes. They saw what would become the most notorious crime in Los Angeles history. Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, found dead. Mutilated. Unexplained. The autopsy told a story that made the coroner's hands shake. Elizabeth had been dead for at least 24 hours. But her body had been washed. Clean. Scrubbed. Like someone was trying to hide something. Her body was sliced in half with a surgical blade. Not a knife. A scalpel. Professional. Precise. The cuts were clean. Surgical. Like a doctor had done them. Her blood was gone. Drained, not spilled, not leaked. Removed. But the worst part, her face, her mouth. Cut from the cheeks to the jaw, a Glasgow smile, a smile that stretched too wide. She'd been tortured. Before she died. Before she was cut. Before she was posed like a doll. Someone had laughed. Someone had watched. Someone had done this. The LAPD investigation. Hundreds of detectives. Thousands of hours. Suspects. Lies. False confessions. Over 150 men were questioned. Over 100 false confessions. But no killer. The press became obsessed. The Black Dahlia. Names were printed, suspects were named, but the truth remained hidden. One man, Dr. George Hodel. A doctor, a millionaire, a suspect. He lived nearby. He had surgical tools. He had knowledge, he had money. But the LAPD couldn't prove it. No blood, no weapon, no confession. Another suspect, Mark Hansen, a nightclub owner. Elizabeth had been seeing him. He was questioned. He was arrested. But the evidence was weak. One more, Orson Welles, the actor, the director, a rumor. He was never questioned. He was never charged. But the whispers continued. The case went cold. January turned to February. February turned to March. The LAPD stopped looking. The detectives stopped calling. The evidence sat in boxes, but the public never forgot. Newspapers printed her story. Movies used her name. Hollywood made her legend. Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, became a symbol of beauty, of death, of Los Angeles' darkest secret. But the killer walked free. No arrest, no trial, no justice. The case remains unsolved, nearly 80 years later. Theories exploded. Decades passed. Suspects were named. Dr. George Hodel. His son, Fred Hodel, wrote a book. He said his father was the killer. He claimed George had a photo of Elizabeth, dead, posed. But the LAPD never found it, never charged him, never proved it. Another theory. The killer was a doctor, someone with surgical training, someone who knew how to cut. Another. The killer was a man Elizabeth loved, someone she trusted, someone who betrayed her. But none of it was proven. The Black Dahlia case changed everything. Forensic science, the LAPD, the media, the way America viewed murder. Before 1947, murder was a crime. After 1947, murder became a spectacle. The press printed her name. The newspapers printed her face. The movies printed her story. Elizabeth Short became the Black Dahlia. But the truth remains in the shadows. Her killer walks free. Her body remains cut in half. Her blood remains drained. And Los Angeles still remembers. Elizabeth Short, 22 years old, died in a vacant lot, mutilated, posed, drained of blood, cut in half. Her killer remains unknown. Nearly 80 years later, the LAPD never found him. The courts never charged him. The truth never came out. The Black Dahlia, the most notorious unsolved murder in American history. Her body was found on Norton Avenue. Her name was Elizabeth Short. But her legend lives forever. Los Angeles, California. 1947, the Black Dahlia. And the killer who still walks free.